Hi guys, it's Saturday. I wish you could talk back to me because I could be like, "How are you?" and then I wouldn't just have to be like, "Happy Saturday," and then you wouldn't say anything. Um, so I got my hair cut. My friend cut it. She did a really awesome job. She had to cut it like a million times because I kept being like, "It's not short enough." Now it's pretty short, although I feel like it looks longer on camera. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Um, Also, last week I was watching my video and I sounded super depressed, and I don't know, like I didn't feel depressed when I was making it. It might have just been because I had just woken up recently or like I was busy. I'm not really sure. But sorry if that was bothersome or like made you cry or something. Um, yeah, I don't want you guys to think that I'm like this super troubled soul or anything like that. Okay, so this week's topic is how to deal with being outed. And since when I was sort of thinking about my sexuality and stuff like in the past year, um it didn't really feel like a thing to me. It didn't really feel like I'm transferring from the straight category to the gay category. It just sort of felt like I'm exploring other options. Like I just I don't know, I'm not a very categorical person, and um so by like not only being with guys, I didn't really feel like it was like a thing where I had to be like, I am now this and I'm gonna tell you, you know? So I guess I'm just kind of comfortable with like my friends, since I have short hair and like I play on the rugby team and I have a girlfriend and stuff, and they're all completely straight, like they sort of make me the token lesbian. Um so and like they're not very secretive about that when we're like in public places or anything like that. And it doesn't really bother me. It's just that like I'm not a lesbian, and I'm definitely not the raging lesbian that like sometimes jokingly I'm portrayed to be when I'm around them. Um, so like as far as just being outed in general as like queer, like some version of queer, like that's not really a problem to me since I have a girlfriend and like I'm definitely public about that. Um, but the mislabeling does kind of bother me just because like I'm not a man hater. I like guys. Like I like everybody, and I don't know. I think it's very one-sided to I don't know, just have the part of me represented that likes girls. So that does kind of bother me. As far as like how I've dealt with it, I honestly haven't really said anything. Like they'll ask me sometimes like, does it bother you when we like call you a lesbian or whatever? And like I'm like, no, like I'm not gonna make you say pansexual like all the time, you know? I just wish that it would be referred to less. Like I don't think it's sort of like what Alana said, like I don't think that my sexuality is the only thing about me, so I kind of wish that it wasn't portrayed as such a big deal and portrayed as such a category of myself. But I haven't really said much about it. But if it does really bother you and people are outing you, definitely like communication is the best way to deal with that. I think 9 times out of 10 people are really open to listening to like what's going on in your head when that's happening, or like how you feel about your sexuality or whatever. Um, and also like you might even like if you're really uncomfortable with it, you might even want to go up to the person they outed you to and just just acknowledge that that happened, especially if you got the feeling that that person felt awkward about it, and just be like if it seemed like they weren't expecting it or something, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, like they're trans or they're gay or whatever, then go up and be like I'm sorry that that came up so abruptly. It depends on your relationship with them. It depends on like your social comfort in general, but I feel like communicating with both sides, like your friend that outed you and who they outed you to, can like sort of resolve the awkwardness if you just want to deal with it up front like that. um I think that's all the advice I really have. Like communication is the biggest thing. Um, Try not to, at least for me, like I just try not to be awkward in the moment in general, because I feel like that makes it a lot easier to look back and not feel super awkward about it looking back. So I can be like, oh, I just like brushed it off and then dealt with it later. Like that's not that embarrassing of a way to deal with that. So yeah, that's my advice with that. Um, the question is summer. So this will be my first summer back home from college, and that's I don't know. I don't really have anything I'm super excited about, like in particular, like vacations or anything like that. But just sort of the idea of summer in general and like being back in Utah for a really long time is kind of um, exciting and scary at the same time, just because I'm so different now than I was when I was living there, and I'm just curious to see how those two sides of myself mesh and like what it turns into by the end of the summer. I'm a little scared about not being able to see my girlfriend for so long. Um, we're still not really sure how that's going to play out, so just kind of apprehension at this point. I need to get a job. I'm super excited to see like all the people that I went to high school with that have been gone and like hear about college and like just see who they are, see what they're doing, and stuff like that. Because it's pretty hard to keep in touch. So I'm excited to do that. Spend more time around my parents. Just be back in Salt Lake, be around the mountains, mountain bike, bike in general, and not have to stop at a stoplight every 200 feet. So yeah, it's gonna be a good summer. It'll be cool to see what happens. I think that's it for this week, guys. I once again have places to be. Saturdays are always crazy. So I will see you guys next Saturday. Have an awesome rest of the weekend. And yeah, bye, guys.